Something is shifting deep inside TCO Performance Center. You can feel the air getting heavy in Minnesota. We've been waiting for a sign that this organization is ready to strike, and that moment is finally here. Real fans know this isn't just another training camp battle. This is about our identity. This is about the Super Bowl window that just swung wide open. Before we dive into the tension brewing in the locker room, hit that like button and subscribe. If you're a faithful Vikings fan who believes we're building something special, you need to stay right here today, Vikings. The signing of Joe and Jennings was the spark, but the real fire is the quarterback room. Everyone assumed Kyler Murray was the guy. It made sense, right? A former franchise star on a prove-it deal. But here's the thing. The insiders are speaking a different language now. Adam Schefter and Tom Pelissero are dropping bombshells that this is a true, wide-open competition. This isn't a coronation for Kyler. JJJ. McCarthy is still very much in the fight to be our leader. Now this is where it gets interesting, because the Vikings have suddenly built an absolute powerhouse of an offense. Look at the names. Justin Jefferson, Jordan Addison, TJ Hawkinson, and now Jennings joining the mix. Then you have Aaron Jones and Jordan Mason in the backfield. This is a roster built to win right now, but it's a roster without a settled pilot. The emotional weight of this can't be overstated for us fans. We've seen enough almost seasons to last a lifetime. Seeing Kyler Murray walk into the building as a veteran minimum flyer while still getting paid by Arizona felt like a steal. He's handled himself like an alpha. The coaches are reportedly thrilled with his football IQ, but JJ McCarthy is the future we invested in. The tension comes from the fact that these two are going to duke it out in OTAs and training camp with everything on the line. It's not just about who starts week 1. It's about the soul of the offense. If Kyler wins, he's chasing a massive extension like Daniel Jones did in Indy. If JJ wins, it validates the draft capital and the long-term vision. But the reports say the room might not be the friendliest place once the pads come on. There's a specific kind of pressure when you have this much talent around the quarterback. You can't afford to waste a single game on a learning curve when you have Justin Jefferson in his prime. This news changes the entire vibe of the summer. It's no longer about getting Kyler up to speed. It's about a high-stakes duel that could determine the next 5 years of Vikings football. The stakes are massive, and honestly, the uncertainty is both terrifying and electric for every faithful fan watching every single move that the front office makes lately in this building where championships are built and legacies are truly defined. Let's talk about the risks, because this quarterback competition is a double-edged sword. When Tom Pelissero says the coaching staff is keeping an open mind, it sounds great on paper. It sounds like a meritocracy. But for an emotionally invested fan, it raises questions about chemistry. These receivers need to know who is throwing the ball. Joan Jennings didn't come here to watch a revolving door at QB. He came to be the final piece of a championship puzzle. If the competition drags on too long, do we lose that precious timing with Jefferson and Addison? There is a real concern that a true competition could lead to a divided locker room. Some guys might gravitate toward the veteran alpha in Kyler Murray, while others might feel a loyalty to the young guy in JJ McCarthy who has been grinding with them. And then there is the roster impact. We saw the front office release veterans like Jonathan Allen and Javon Hargrave. We saw the trade of Jonathan Greenard. Those moves tell me the team is reshuffling the deck for a specific window. The pressure on Kevin O'Connell is at an all-time high. He has to manage these two massive egos and styles. Kyler is a playmaker with his legs and a big arm, while McCarthy is the system-literate protege. If Kyler wins the job and plays like an MVP, what happens to JJ? Does his trade value plummet? Does he become an afterthought? The insiders are already suggesting that if Murray follows the Daniel Jones path and earns a monster extension, McCarthy's time in Minnesota is effectively over. That is a heartbreaking scenario for fans who bought into the rookie's journey. But if McCarthy wins, can he actually lead this star-studded group to a deep playoff run? The expectations are no longer just to be competitive. With this receiver core, the expectation is to be elite. We are looking at a situation where one mistake in evaluation could set the franchise back. The uncertainty in the building is palpable. Reports are saying Kyler is operating with a chip on his shoulder, trying to prove the entire league wrong after his Arizona exit. That kind of hunger is dangerous in a competition. It makes for drama, but it keeps us fans wondering if we are truly ready for the chaos that comes when two titans collide for the ultimate prize now. But this is where things change. This isn't just about a depth chart battle. It's about the financial future of the Minnesota Vikings. And that's the biggest question. We have to look at the Daniel Jones path that Jeremy Fowler mentioned. Murray is on a one-year deal. He's playing for his life. If he lights it up with this insane supporting cast, he's going to demand $80 or $90 million. And the Vikings afford that while paying Justin Jefferson his record-breaking money. This competition is a pressure cooker. If Kyler is the alpha and takes over, the Vikings are essentially admitting that the rookie plan wasn't enough for the current window. because this could become something much bigger than a training camp story. It could lead to a massive trade before the deadline. If J.J. McCarthy is sitting on the bench while Kyler Murray is playing like an all-pro, the phones in the front office will be ringing. Other teams will see a young quarterback with pedigree being wasted. The emotional looping here is constant because every time we sign a guy like Jalen Jennings, the pressure on the quarterback position doubles. You don't build the best WR trio in the NFL just to see what happens. You do it because you think you have a guy who can deliver the ball. But who is that guy? The insiders are telling us the coaches are thrilled with Kyler's acumen. That word acumen is key. It means he's mastering the mental side that people criticized him for in the past. If he's combined his physical gifts with Kevin O'Connell's brain, the rest of the NFC North should be terrified. But that creates a tragic narrative for McCarthy. Imagine being the young guy who did everything right, only to have a former #1 overall pick swoop in and take your chair just as the team becomes a juggernaut. That is the hidden tension. It's the what if that haunts every practice. Every throw Kyler makes is a challenge to JJ's future. Every throw JJ makes is a reminder of why we drafted him. This is the most fascinating quarterback competition in the league because the prize is the keys to a championship Ferrari that is waiting for a driver to push us over the edge of history and deliver that long-awaited trophy to a city that has finally earned it. I'm going to be honest with you all. This actually worries me a little bit, but in the best way possible. I really like the move to bring in Kyler Murray, especially at that price. It's a low-risk, high-reward play that most GMs would dream of. But as a fan who has watched this team through the highs and lows, the idea of a true competition this late into the process feels like we're playing with fire. I think fans should pay attention to how Kevin O'Connell talks about the acumen of these guys. We know O'Connell is a quarterback whisperer. If he's genuinely keeping an open mind, it means J.J. McCarthy has shown him something special that we haven't seen yet. I want to believe that J.J. can win this. There's something so poetic about a young homegrown talent leading a group of superstars. But I also can't ignore the alpha energy Kyler is bringing. I've seen what Kyler can do when he's healthy and motivated. He has a ceiling that very few players in the world can touch. If he's truly adapted to this offense, we might be looking at the best Vikings offense since 1998. That's not hyperbole. Look at the depth. But here's the internal conflict. If Kyler is the guy, we're essentially renting a superstar for a year and then facing a massive contract headache. If JJ is the guy, we have a rookie contract and a decade of stability. I find myself torn. Part of me wants the veteran who can win us a ring today. The other part of me doesn't want to see us give up on the kid we just brought in to be the face of the franchise. It's a luxury to have two good options. But in the NFL, if you have two quarterbacks, sometimes you have none. I'm cautiously optimistic because the talent around them is so good that maybe it doesn't matter who starts. Maybe the system is the star. But we know better. In the playoffs, you need a playmaker. You need someone who can handle the heat. Watching this duke out over the summer is going to be nerve-wracking. I think we need to prepare ourselves for some truly shocking news very soon as this team moves toward a decision that will finally cement our path toward greatness or force us to face another long road ahead. This story is far from over. In fact, it's just beginning. The OTAs in a couple of weeks are going to be the first real glimpse into this battle, and the reports we get then will tell us everything about the actual landscape. Will Kyler Murray truly pull ahead with that veteran experience? Or will J.J. McCarthy prove that he's the rightful heir to this offense? The tension is real, and the implications for the roster are massive. One of these men will lead us, and the other might be looking for a new home sooner than we think. It's a high-stakes game of musical chairs with a Super Bowl-caliber roster on the line. I want to hear from you. Who do you think should be the Week 1 starter? Are you Team Kyler and the win-now mentality? Or are you Team JJ and the future of the franchise? This is the most fascinating drama in the NFL right now, and as Vikings fans, we are right in the middle of it. Drop your thoughts in the comments below. I'm reading all of them. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel if you want to stay updated on every single twist and turn in this quarterback saga. We are the most passionate fan base in the league, and we're going through this together. Keep your eyes on the news, because something tells me the biggest bombshell is still yet to drop for our beloved Purple Skol.